はい。はい。お願いします。いきます。何がはい。ヘッドアップダウン。よいしょ。うんうんはい。サイド、サイド。よしはい。You to shoulders. Hey, circles. Wait. Circles the other way. Hey, arms. And back. Come in. Hey, yo, come in. Hey, nice one. And right. Yo, Benji. Hey, Yoko. はい。い、こ、ゆ、こ、3、9、こ、はい。肩を。 So, front and back, gloves, side, feet, hands up, forward, down. Your knees, front, back, sideways, circles, sorry. Circles one way, circles the other way. And sideways, one direction, side the other direction. Slide, one, slide, and down, up, down, up, down, up. Open your toes, down, up, down. Down. Breathing in, out, in, out, in, out. So, hey, and your hips. So, open your legs, lowering hips. So, hands inside, hands out, in, out, in, out, hands down, hips up, hips down, hips up, hips down. Hey, jumping forward, jumping back, jumping to one side, jumping to the other side. Again, jumping forward, back, one side, the other side. So hips up, and your spine up. Shoulders, head, and circles. And the other side. Bend your legs. And one side, the other side. Toes up. Change. Hands in front. Change. Right side. Open legs. Elbows down. And forward. Back. Forward. Back. Forward. Hips up. Down. Up. Down. Up. Down. And back. Hey, hands on your knees, hands down, knees down, one arm up, passing through, and stretch. The other side, arm up, passing through, and stretch. One more, arm up, passing through. And one more, up, through. Hey, turning one side, turning the other side. One side, the other side, side, other side. Thank you. Go. You. Go. Thank you. Go. Hey. That's all right. A little bit of core exercises this morning. So this is going to be a bit of a, it's a bit of, the first one is going to be a combined, but the first two exercises will be a bit of a compound exercise, which compound exercises as opposed to isolation exercises are pretty good. Isolation exercises when you only use one particular group muscle in order to perform your activity. And compound exercises is when you involve obviously several muscle groups in order to do that. Some people say that compound exercises are a little bit better because that's a more realistic, more functional, and a more realistic way in which the body moves. The body doesn't move in isolation, usually with one muscle just engaged in that precise thing. Usually there is a system of muscles engaged in it. Anyway, so all of them have a place in our physical maintenance. It's not, I don't necessarily think that one is better than the other. It's just the difference between compound exercises and isolation exercises. So for the first compound exercise, it's going to be, sometimes it's called a super push. I think we have done it a few times already, but you're going to start in a push-up position, okay? And then you're going to do your push-up, okay? Just one push-up, and then you're going to touch shoulders. So one shoulder, push-up, the other shoulder, push-up, one knee, push-up, the other knee, push-up, one foot, push-up, the other foot, push-up. You're going to spike your legs and touch your toes, so your hip, Yeah, by your hip and touch your toe, and then push up again, slide your toe, then you're going to push up again, you're going to come back, you're going to push up again, you're going to come back, walk back into squat position, and then we're going to do 10 squats. Sounds a little bit more complicated than it is, but it's reasonably simple. So just stay with more or less my indication. So going to push-up position. Okay, and now you cannot do a push-up, maybe just avoid the push-up section of the exercise and just do the actual motions. For example, shoulder, shoulder, knee, knee, toe, toe, spike and toe, backwards, up, walking back, side down, and squats. Okay, so if you can do the push-up, you're going to put a push-up in between all of those exercises. Okay, so super push-up. Ready? And here we go. Down, up, shoulder, down, up, shoulder, down, up, knee, down, up, knee, down, up, toe, down, up, toe, down, up, hip and toe, down, up, hip and toe, down, up, push back, down, up, walking backwards, into squat position and squats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and relax. Okay. So we're going to do it again, but on the next one, we are going to do, instead of just basic squat, if you can, we're going to do plyometric squat, which is, squat, a little explosive jump as part of your exercise. You can come down and rest. So move to one side, to the side. When you do your touching shoulder, touching knee, really the more stable you are, the better. Sometimes when we are in touching shoulders, what happens is people goes 1, 2, moving too much the body. The idea is to try to stay as firm with the body as possible, as opposed to swinging too much side to side. So that kind of creates more demand on the core muscles to not swing side to side from the body. Try to stay as much as possible, as firm as you can on your position. All right, here we go. Second round. Same thing, but when we go to the squats, we're going to do plyometric squats with that little explosive jump coming up and down. Okay, so push up position and down, up, shoulder, down, up, shoulder, down, up, knee, down, up, knee, down, up, toe, down, up, toe, down, up, hip and toe, down, up, hip, toe, down, up, back, down, up, walk backwards, squat position, plyometrics. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and stop. All right. So next one will be a side kick exercise. So the good thing about a super push-up like that, it's a very basic exercise, but it targets pretty much all your body, especially when you do the plyometric jump, because obviously it's the push-up, encouraging upper body and a bit of core. Then all the tapping different parts of the body is for the core, and then the plyometric push-up, which is a little bit of obviously your legs, but a little bit of explosiveness and a little bit of cardio, just because you are the plyometric element. So anyway, it's a good little a lot. If you want to do a little bit of general body exercise and you have a lot of time, 3, 4, 4, 5 sets of power push-up is a good idea. It's a good wake up thing. All right, so now we're going to do side kick. So you're going to basically be halfway into your squat. So not fully into your squat, but halfway in. So not all the way out, halfway into your squat, maybe a little bit more than halfway. And you're basically going to pivot. You're going to pivot to one side, and then you're going to raise your leg, keep it parallel to the ground. Don't touch the ground, so you're floating, toes up, opposite hand onto your shoulder. Going back here in the middle, pivot the other side, and pull and hold. And the other side, okay? So a couple of important things. Keep your leg parallel to the ground, ideally toes pointing up, okay? Pull your other hand towards your chest, to create balance and tension in your body. Just check the condition of your wrist or your shoulder or your elbow in the holding hand, just to see if you don't have a condition that may hurt or injure a little bit more in that sense, okay? So normally this exercise can go really fast, but let's just do it nice and slow. So you own the movement, as they say. You are conscious about the movement that you're doing all the time, okay? So hands, knees, pivot on one side, and hold. 3, 2, 1, back, pivot, stand. 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 3, 2, 1, back, pivot, extend. 3, 2, 1, back, pivot, stand. 3, 2, 1, back, and okay. So again, a little bit of a little compound exercise for core muscle, hip mobility, a little bit of upper muscle strength. In terms of our applications when we train, we are all used to getting up in Ushiro-kemi with our standard get up, which is how we should do, because that's the standard way of getting up for our Ushiro-kemi, Yoko-kemi, Senpo-kemi, when you tuck your leg and then you move up. But sometimes we have practiced getting up what's called a strategic get up, which instead of tucking and posting, you basically extend and post, okay? And when you extend and post, you raise on your hip, you move back, you get up. So that little action of posting and extending, raising your hip, passing your leg, raising your leg, pass your leg, and so up. It's a little bit of this core muscle exercise, which is what we are doing with the side kick motion. So a little bit of core muscle, a little bit of strength on the posting hand, and so on. So let's do it one more time, okay? Hands and toes and hands. Ready, one side, 1. So change, 2. Change, 3. Change, 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. And okay. All right. Last set of core exercises is going to be dead box. That's an isolation exercise, but it's really good to isolate, obviously, your core muscles alone. And I was talking yesterday with another member of the dojo, which has he's recovering from a quite severe operation on the lower abdomen. So he's not able to use his core muscles almost at all. So if you're, for whatever reason, you are recovering from something like that or underdeveloped, obviously you need to go and see a physio, and the physio will give you the adequate type of exercises for you to come back and recover. we are having a session with a personal trainer this coming Sunday for the dojo in the evening, a webinar, which I have already passed to the members. So it's very important to have always professional advice with these kind of things. If you want to explore a few exercises that slowly recover your core muscle ability in that sense, remember, any exercises that forces you to raise your legs is going to demand some level of core muscle engagement. So if you sit down, for example, and you raise one leg, it's supporting your body a lot, raise the other leg, raise one leg. So these things that we take for granted, but it's only when our core muscles are not well, or our lower back is not well, that it engages. So any action that forces you to raise your legs is going to demand core muscles, okay? Any actions of contracting your legs and then extending your legs is going to demand you some core muscle. And again, it's a very slow, controlled, gentle way of see how much you can do. So raising your legs, contracting your legs. Of course, if you contract both legs at the same time and extend them by the same time, it's more demanding. Of course, if you fly them, it's more demanding. Of course, if you have nothing supporting your upper back, it's more demanding. So, supporting yourself one leg at a time, contract, one leg at a time, extend. If you want to try both legs, keep your heels on the ground. No, don't float them. Just heels on the ground, back and forward, and so on. And then you move to dead bugs, which is this position here. That's why I was showing. So raising legs, extending and contracting legs. And then the next one is, again, raising knee, change, raising knee, change, raising knee, change. And then, of course, raising both knees, which is the initial position of the dead bug. So that already engages core muscles. Of course, then the extension of the legs from that position. But again, it's progressive. If you are in a dead bug setup, can you raise one leg and put it down? Can you raise the other leg and put it down? Can you raise one leg and then the other leg and hold them and slowly put them down? Can you raise both legs at the same time and hold them and then put them down? And then after all of that, then you progress to dead bugs. So anyway, all of these things can be done in a very slow, progressive manner if we are careful, okay? All right, let's go to basic dead bugs. So raise your legs, hands up, engage, pay attention to your core muscle, and cross laterals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and homolaterals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, bilaterals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and face up, hands up, back up, floating your legs straight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20, and relax. So, of course, any exercise that requires you floating your legs is going to demand greater amount of core muscle engagement, and so on. So don't start by floating your legs if you have weak core muscles or lower back. Start by going to see a doctor and then a physio, and then they will give you the right exercises. Maybe explore this idea of, can you bend one leg? Can you stretch one leg? Can you bend the other leg? Can you stretch the other leg? Can you bend both legs to you? Can you stretch both legs to you? And so on, so on. Okay? So, please grab your Tanto. Okay? Grab your Tanto. So this month, we just started, we are going to be focusing a lot on Bukiwaza, okay, on the use of our weapons. Remember, there are, as we know, many different ideas and approaches and ways in which people in Aikido trains weapons or not. We possibly train less with the weapon than many other schools in that sense. The important thing with weapon training, as far as we're concerned, is twofold. Number one is, whenever you do something with a weapon, is that congruent with your empty-handed technique intentions and movements and structures, or are you literally practicing two different arts? They look really different, when people practice it with the weapon and when they practice empty-handed. So first of all, if you're interested in Aikido, if you do Iaido, Kendo, or any other martial art, well, of course, it's fine. It's another martial art entirely. But if you are practicing Aikido, does your weapon work and does your empty-handed work look not a little bit like alike, but pretty much identical in terms of structures, shapes, intentions, spirit, everything? Is there a harmony between them, or are these two different studies? Which again, some people may have two different studies, and that's fine. There's two different martial arts. That's number one, congruency or harmony between the weapon training and empty-handed training. And the second thing is who is leading who. Sometimes, we want to think that, it's just they both equally important and they both complement each other. Maybe in an ideal world, that's how things are. But in a more day-to-day where really one of them will lead another one. Is the weapon training leading the empty-handed movement? That could be one approach. In our case, the empty-handed movement really is the essence, the element that is leading what we are doing and then translating into weapon training. So we are going to practice this week. We practice a lot with the Tanto, a little bit with the jaw, but we did mostly Tanto. So please remember with the Tanto, especially the way Manuel Sensei holds it, all weapons are extensions of the body in Aikido, more than proficiency on the weapon itself, because I'm sure there are Kendoka or Jodoka or people who work with Tanto that are much better at using the weapons than an Aikido person. One of the intentions of the use of weapons is the exposure to that side of Budo, the weapon world, but also the extension of your own energy, which it's more and more difficult the further away is from the body. So when you have a weapon, now your own presence of mind doesn't finalize on your fingers, now extends to the length of the weapon that you are holding. So if it's a Tanto, it extends for another 20 centimeters. If it's a Boken, if it's a Jo, and so on. So it's an exercise of extension of the presence of your mind into things, kind of thing. So in order to facilitate that, Manuel Sensei always grabs the Tanto, connects it on the base of the hand, and then wraps it around, commencing by the little finger, and then moving with all the other fingers, finalizing with the index finger and the thumb. So not so much effort on the index and the thumb, more like effort on connecting with the hand, wrapping it around in a way that is secure, but starting with the little fingers and then finalizing with thumb and the index finger. Now there's two ways of grabbing the Tanto, of course, what we call the standard way, which is blade down and so, or on the reverse way where the Tanto is pointing down with the blade. So let's start a few exercises with Tanto. Let's start with the blade down, reverse grip. Connect your Tanto, wrap around, little finger, and so on. And we're going to practice Shoumenuchi. Shoumenuchi. We'll use your hips and cut down. Okay? Shoumenuchi. Identical as when you would do a Rippo exercise, or any exercise like that. So got that, left hand and Shoumenuchi. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pivots the other side. Right hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pivots. So one more time, these exercises should reinforce basic movements. In this case, again, if you think about, let's say, cow ski, boom, and then Rippo, down, it would be the exactly same movement as when you are using your hand. Okay, now this time, Yokomenuchi, hand on the opposite hand, on the back foot, hand over your head, and cutting sideways. Okay, so Yokomenuchi. 1, change side. 2, change. 3, change. 4, pivots to the side. 1, 2, change. 3, change. 4, pivots. And this time, hand tie Yokomenuchi, which is when you go sideways, or opposite to the direction that you just did. Raising your leg, using your hips openly. Okay, raising your leg, using hips open. Use your hips a lot in hand-tied yokomenuchi. Okay, so 1, change. 2, change. 3, change. 4, pivots, hand-tied yokomenuchi. 1, change. 2, change. 3, change. 4, pivots. Okay, now this time ski, or more correctly called oiski, which is when you follow your step, with the direction of the tanto. Same hand, same foot, and go into that direction. So oiski. Now we change from reverse grip into standard grip. Okay, standard grip for oiski. So 1, 2, 3, 4, pivot, oiski. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So again, with our oiski, the basic position. So big front leg at the back, big hips down motion. Identical to how you would finish, for example, shihonai. Okay, with a good position. Or when you want to finish any pinning technique. Good base, front foot, forward, same as oiski. Same as oiski. Okay? So now this time Yakuski, which basically one's oiski, same foot, same hand. This time Yakuski, slide, opposite hand, stabs on the tracks, slide, opposite hand, stabs on the tracks. So opposite hand, opposite leg this time. So Yakuski. Okay, so Yakuski. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pivots, Yakuski. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pivots. Okay. Now this time go back again to the reverse grip. Okay. And we're going to practice Mawaru ski. So sideways, in a big circle, but inside. We've had a lot of fun this week practicing techniques from Mawaru ski. So stepping in, circle, using the tanto to slides forward, be like a hook or a haymaker. If you were throwing a haymaker, here, boom, like that. Same thing, but with a tanto. Okay, so Mawaru. Okay, 1, change. 2, change. 3, change. 4, change. The other side. 1, change. 2, change. 3, change. 4, change. Okay, last one, same thing with the reverse grip. Shita. So which shita ski, as a strike or a cut that comes from underneath and basically attacks anything, on the lower body, either the legs or the lower part of the abdomen, or anything like that. So it comes shita ski coming from underneath. Okay, so shita. Okay, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pivot. Shita ski. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So those will be your basic set of movements with the tanto. So let's review them again. Okay, sho menuchi, tanto in reverse position. Could be also in standard position. Sometimes sho menuchi, yoko menuchi, yakuski. All of these ones except shita. Shita, all of them can be performed with the standard grip. Even shita can go underneath that way. But Mawaru ski turns a little bit around. But let's practice them this morning with reverse grip. So let's see if we can do all the ones that we did with reverse grip first, and then the 2 that we did with the standard grip. So sho menuchi with reverse grip. Good position, hips down. Yoko Menucci with reverse grip. Good position, hips down. Hand tie, Yoko Menucci. So, back, Mawaru ski, back, and Shita ski. Back. Okay, so those was with reverse grip. And now with standard grip, with the two types of direct skis that we did, Oi ski and Yaku ski. Okay, so those are the basic set of motions that we have been practicing with our Tanto, and then from there we perform certain disarming techniques with the Tanto as well. But it's very important to have at least a base of how to hold the Tanto, and then how to perform the basic set of attacks with the Tanto. Okay, so let's finish up. Ki, ko, ki, ko, thank you. Ko. Hey. It's okay, Cody. Hey, great. Hey, arigato gozaimashita. Thank you very much.